Welcome to Oops All Segments, the very best podcast hitting your eardrums at this very moment. I am Kevin.
I'm Thomas, and today we're here with special guest from Paralellogramophonograph. It is Kaci Beeler and Roy Janik. Welcome.
Yo.
Hey.
Welcome to you.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Kevin had a very rare optical surgery this week. So he's wearing special medicinal glasses. If you're not watching on YouTube, you're going to want to see these.
That's right.
Yeah.
They couldn't be
Yeah,
small.
they're not cool glasses for fun.
No, I would say they're the opposite of cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Although it sounded like you said optical glasses, and I was like, he does look like Doc Ock a little bit.
I look like Doc Ock, but somehow even lower status.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Those
Peter.
The circles of those glasses are so small. It makes me think of an even smaller circle that's just the size of pupils.
Yeah, like
It just covers.
Yeah, not protecting the rest of your eye, just the window to the soul. Yeah.
Yeah,
If those
absolutely.
are sunglasses, I feel the sun could sneak in on either side and still sort of irritate
I feel like these sunglasses are made to be worn and still be able to get a full face tan. Like you wouldn't get a tan because they seem the lowest pro. I guess they could be. What do they call those glasses that don't have arms? Pince-nez?
Monocles, double monocles.
Double monocles. Yeah. Those guys could be one of those. But I'm going to take these off because it is actually really hard to see and focus with them on. So I couldn't commit to the bit. What's going on with you guys?
Great, good. That was a good
We
segue.
like to begin with an air of
Amazing.
resignation. Like, I can't keep doing this. How are you?
Resignation, but also it seemed like a little bit of an attack right out of the gate.
What is going on with you guys is what I meant.
I will tell you what is immediately going on with us, which is that last night we debuted an improvised Christmas Carol show called Bah Humbug. And
It's nice.
there was one
Great.
particular moment that caught me by surprise. So before we launched the show, we decided, it would be cool if we actually ordered like a cheap Scrooge costume off of Amazon. And so we got it was like a
little,
nightgown.
Tan nightgown with like a tan cap, with the dangling ball.
Yeah, and then we had this little robe that we put over that. And so what we did in the show was Scrooge was walking around in his suit and stuff, and then eventually
Scrooge character.
And then they walked up to their bedroom, and at some point I narrated them into changing into their nightgown. And when he put the nightgown and robe and cap on, Kaci helped. The audience erupted in applause as if it was like his superhero moment and he had just put his costume on for the first time. It was incredible.
Fuck yeah.
They loved it. They were like, yeah, that's the stuff.
Yeah.
It's like when the
'Cause
Millennium
he also-
Falcon shows up in the new Star Wars movies and
Yeah.
it's the fucking ship!
That's the thing. That's the guy. But it was
He did do a reveal, though. He did do a kind of a thing.
Yeah. I mean,
but
Turn around and glare.
He wasn't Scrooge. His name was Oberon Fudge, and he was called Old Fudge by the people of London.
That's
good.
Was he like an evil Willy Wonka type?
He was, he was just a straight up blackmailer and made his living collecting gossip and having
was
people
great.
pay him off.
We asked people, what's somebody you've known in your life that was super mean or comically mean?
Sure.
And somebody said, well, my grandfather. And then we were like, how so? And he said, I didn't know there'd be a follow-up question.
It's not as
My
fun when
grandfather
I delve
was
into it,
comically
actually.
mean
It's
to me.
very dark when you have a mean
And we were like, well, what does he do? And he's like, oh my God, he just posts all the time on LinkedIn. And we were like, what is he about work?
Yeah.
And he's
We were
like, not
job,
about work.
And we were
Not
like,
job
okay,
related.
we're not going to ask any more questions.
Just freely posting on LinkedIn.
Just recommending Rich Dad, Poor Dad every day. It wears on you.
Hey guys, wondering if anyone's heard any good podcasts lately, just on LinkedIn.
Imagine having a grandpa who had a grind set. That would be such a drag.
So I don't know because I'm not on there, but apparently LinkedIn has become more of a social network. Where
really?
It's not just job and connections related.
That's not good.
It's a terrible place, and I never want to spend any time there.
No, yeah. It's like the worst thing about social media is how capitalistic it is. And then we're like, well, what if we made it? What if that was front loaded? What if it was capitalism first? Yeah.
Your job title is underneath your name anytime you post.
Every post is just your like how we got here section on your website, but like, about you, it sucks. Kaci, what's going on with you? I know you a big part of your life was you helped Scrooge get into the costume, but anything else that you'd like to let us know about?
What am I up to?
Can I ask about your phone or your AirPods?
Oh my God, yeah. So I am wearing headphones that are not mine, that I just had to scramble and find today because Roy and I were in New York recently, and I left my bag behind in like a pretty nice restaurant. And when I realized that many hours had passed, and I was like, oh my God, my bag hasn't been on me. There was a bunch of weird shenanigans where like I paid for our Airbnb, so Roy was like buying all this stuff to sort of pay me back, like buying all my meals and things and tracking it. So I had no reason to grab my bag because he was paying for stuff. So I lost it for a long time. Then I realized like, oh, my AirPods were in my bag. I'll just track it. So I look at the Find My, app on my phone, and I'm like, oh, okay, my AirPods are like by the restaurant. That's great. And then I check in again, and they're like not by the restaurant. They're like further up in Manhattan.
Oh no.
And I'm like, well, why are they suddenly there? It's like, honestly, it was like 4 a.m. when I realized all this.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they're like moving again, and then they're way over in Queens.
Oh no.
And I'm
so
like,
they're gone.
Why are my so they're gone. I call the restaurant, I leave a message. Roy and I are like on our way to the airport the next day. He went to the restaurant. They said they didn't have my bag. We're gonna like try and confront this area where the AirPods are. Because it's literally
So we're headed to Queens to confront a thief.
You guys are American, man. I would never do this. Yeah. Holy shit.
This was very like amazing that Roy agreed to this.
Yeah, it's not in my nature, but
that's a true friend right there.
Yeah, man.
I did keep saying
so
like
weird. Yeah.
I was just like, if there's the slightest sign of anything, we're bailing.
I was like, let's just go see. Let's just go see.
For sure.
Do you have a phrase prepped for when you see the perp with the AirPods, what you're going to say to them?
Get them!
You have my AirPods. You have my AirPods.
Yeah. You like that noise cancellation, motherfucker? That's mine.
These are really nice, and I got them for myself as a special treat.
Yeah.
Can I have them back?
I'm actually a pro too.
It was actually the thing that sucked as well is they had my like ID.
Yeah.
And we were about to fly.
Yeah.
And my credit card and such.
No.
So I was more worried about that stuff. Yeah. And but then when we get to the area where the AirPods have been sitting, right outside this train station, suddenly they're like several blocks away.
Oh.
So we're like, okay, we have to get to the airport. We can't just we have our luggage. We can't just roll our luggage around Queens following this signal.
Yeah.
So at that point I give up. We are waiting to get on the air train. You have to pay a separate fee to take this other train. Mm-hmm. And then they're back right near us. I'm looking at the map and they're
a block
right,
away.
Almost you could see them.
Yeah.
I'm they're right there. That's crazy that my stuff is right there and we can't get out of the station fast enough and to confront somebody. And I'm also nervous about confronting somebody in New York. I'm not going to lie,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're little art people. We're
Please give me my stuff back. I'm a little art person.
Yeah,
It's made,
You can keep the AirPods. I just like my ID.
Yeah.
Look, we saw Suffs and it was great, and now we're
all over the place. I bought a snowflake ring at the Christmas market.
Yeah.
It's
it also reflects my political views. Please give me my stuff back.
Please give me my things. So I'm it kind of feels like a lost cause, and I'm but I keep tracking them because I did have them fully charged, and I see them later that night move back to the restaurant.
Okay.
The scene
and
of the
then
crime.
back to Queens. and then back to the restaurant.
So they
and back
work
to
at the
Queens.
restaurant.
They were
right?
taken by Miles
Clearly.
Morales, I feel like. How is this person moving so fast?
So like I've been emailing like the restaurant and like anything I can, because when you call a restaurant, it's just like a phone tree.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to talk to anybody. So like all of a sudden, like I've been telling them what's going on. I'm sending them screenshots. A frantic guy like calls me back and is like, "Oh, we're looking into it. We're so sorry." So he seems like he knows something's off.
Okay.
And finally they're like, "Oh, we have your bag. It's been found at the restaurant."
Surprise.
But Roy went there in person.
I was going to say, you
ask.
physically went there, though.
Yeah.
And was like,
And they also said it was in the Lost and Found, which they had looked in when I showed up.
Okay, so they found it, and I'm like, we're no longer in New York. We had just got back.
Right.
But Valerie, our other
Right.
troop mate, is there. So, but except she wasn't. She was on a work trip in Philadelphia. So
Right.
she's like, I'll get my boyfriend to go to the restaurant to get your bag.
Okay.
Because they didn't offer to like send it.
Right.
But when she goes to get, or he goes to get it, the AirPods are not in the bag. They are back
What?
in Queens. And then later that night, back at the restaurant. And then the next day, back in Queens.
So,
and
like-
they're still fully charged, and I can
Yeah.
like, see them moving.
So, like, you got, did you get the rest
Somebody
of your
is
stuff back? Was
hungry
your
and
bag?
They love this restaurant. They keep going back.
So like
for grilled cheese every day.
I was so persistent. I basically was like, clearly this is somebody who works there and is
Yeah.
returning in the evening. And I'm guessing like they must have like a cleaning team that they hire out through another company.
Sure.
And this person, even though I like locked them so you can't use them, I guess, they had them on their person,
Right.
which was also wild. And it was just wild watching them. I couldn't help
Or
but
it's
open
like
the
they
app
put it,
and
they
like
put
watch
it like
them
in
move.
their backpack that they bring to that job, and they've never taken it out of there or something. Yeah. That's wild. I'm glad
And
that
so-
you got your bag back, though.
But the story is not over.
Oh my God.
Story's not over. So I get this, I leave some voicemail messages as well, just kind of being like, hey, clearly something's going on. And I'm not saying anything stolen. I don't want to like make that accusation. But I'm like, it's pretty damning that it's moving back and forth and it keeps returning to the restaurant, because I keep hoping it will stay at the restaurant and they'll say they've been returned.
Yes.
So that's what I keep thinking when I'm like looking at it and seeing it back
Yeah.
at the restaurant and back in Queens. And it's always there after they close at like 12:30 at night, and then till like 4 or 5 in the morning, and then it moves.
So it,
And so-
cleaning company sounds, yeah.
So I'm
Or
like, so this one guy tries to send me an email and brush me off. He's like, oh, actually, we've checked everywhere and we haven't seen them, so we'll let you know. And I'm like, but this other guy called me and was like, oh, we're looking into this. So I just send this very stern email. That's an email that would make Roy super uncomfortable, where I'm like, I understand that you're in the guest relations like field and you don't want this information to come out. And I've been very private, but I will go public with it because I have these screenshots, and it's very damning that somebody on your staff or on your contracted staff is like has done something.
Yeah.
Basically.
And then guess what? They found them.
Ta-da!
But not only that, they actually admitted, yeah, someone stole them. And that person,
yeah.
and they don't obviously not going to work here anymore. Yeah.
That's insane.
Whoa.
That's
So
I
like
mean,
5 days later.
so
so you
won.
did get it back.
You won.
So
Yeah.
Valerie, like I don't know, I will win if I get them
Val-
successfully through
Right.
FedEx
Right.
in
Yeah,
a few days.
the twist is that Valerie's boyfriend disappeared with it and no one's seen him.
Yeah, now he's been going back and forth to different places. Yeah. No, I mean, I had seen some of this on Facebook, but I'd not caught the end. So I'm glad that I know the sort of resolution now. That is high drama for a trip. I would be very upset.
I was upset and I was mad at myself for being upset. I was just like,
this might
think
be
it's upset about this.
the most high profile crime in New York City at the moment.
There is nothing else that could
Nothing
be wrong.
else. Nothing else going
Nothing
on.
else. On the
Nothing else
episode of Kareem
happened.
and Val that hasn't come out yet, I dressed like the shooter, but it was also before he was caught, and now it's going to come out after that all happened, and so it really feels
you
like
were wearing a full green Luigi outfit.
Yeah, I was.
How did you predict it?
Yeah. No, I mean, so be it. But yeah, that's great. Well, I think, T, is there anything going on in your life?
Oh, nothing worth getting into. I saw a movie at the Chicago Film Society called The Curse of the Cat People, which has no cat people in it and has nothing to do with the original film Cat People, but was a beautiful film titled like a sequel so that it could get made because horror sequels were popular back in that time. Sort of the, Bride of Frankenstein, Son of Frankenstein type of thing. There are no cat people in this movie. It's about a little girl whose parents don't really foster her imagination, and she befriends the ghost of her father's dead spouse. And it's a lovely movie that I highly recommend. Very strange, but haunting and heartbreaking.
I really am not going to get over this title.
You know what does have cats in it? Cats.
That's true. Thank you for that. I wasn't sure.
The first time I saw a recording of Cats, I was like, man, this play really delivers on the title.
Yeah, it's certainly as advertised.
Thank you, T.S. Eliot. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Cats.
You think it's just going to be maybe 4 or 5 cats?
No, there's so many
more.
So many cats. I mean,
they are plural. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many cats is it though, Roy?
Is it
like
I don't
20?
know. I'm gonna say 24 cats. Yeah,
24 cats, and they're jellicle cats, isn't that right?
They are the jellicalist.
I don't even know what that word means.
No one
does. It doesn't
does.
mean anything, but it is what they are called in the show.
Okay.
A jellicle cat is what Jellicle does because Jellicle is and Jellicle was or something.
Yeah. It's
Wow.
a little Jabberwocky adjacent.
I
Kevin,
see.
you dressed as Rum Tum Tugger for Halloween, didn't you?
What? No, I didn't.
Okay.
No, you definitely did.
No, I didn't dress as Rum Tum
Yes,
Tugger.
you did. Yes, you did.
I didn't. I don't even know what Rum Tum Tugger looks like.
You're kind of dressed like Rum Tum Tugger right now.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm dressed like.
Once you took the glasses off, it was Rum Tum to a T.
I have a fucking ponytail.
It's just you. It's not that it's your skin.
I'm
It's the way you look.
I'm giving Rum Tum Tugger. Is that what
Always.
you're saying?
That was the first. When I first met you, that was the first thing I thought about you.
Was Rum Tum? Was that
really
Jason
getting rum?
Was that Jason Derulo in the film?
I picked you up in my Civic, and you thought this guy looks like Rum Tum Tugger.
Yeah. I was just like, there's something Rum Tum Tummy about him, you know?
Rum Tum Tummy, not even Rum Tum Tugger.
Wait a second. Let's see. So yes, Jason Derulo did play Rum Tum Tugger, Kevin.
Yeah.
So that's
Is
kind
that?
of
I don't know
nice.
if I want to be like Jason Derulo.
You do. You are. It doesn't matter.
I guess I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. It just
Whoa! Did anyone know this? Do you want to guess what James Corden's character's name was? It's incredible.
No.
Wait.
can't
No, I don't want
remember.
to. I don't want to guess.
I did watch it,
Not,
but it was
not one of the better known cat names, but it does make me laugh. Kevin, do you have a guess?
I mean, they
Corden.
often have like weird. I don't know. I don't know any of the names.
Was he Rumple Teaser?
He was someone named Bustafer Jones.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole song about him. Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty
I would
good.
say he's one of the minor cats.
I would
a
say
song
there
about
are no minor cats in Cats. By the end of it, they pretty much all get their own song.
It's an ensemble piece. I mean, it's not called
is.
a couple of the cats. It's called Cats.
Yeah.
No.
Bustafer is
Bustafer
really
is
good.
incredible. Why don't we spin the wheel and get going into our
Yeah.
seggies?
I want to talk about cats more.
We simply don't have time.
What do we got?
We have Dr. Seuss and Dre. Participants must write an 8 to 16 bar Dr. Seuss rap and have it performed.
Okay. A Dr.
Link in the
Seuss.
chat.
Yeah,
I think we're going to collaborate,
Maybe we
or
can
should we do
collaborate.
improvise? I feel like we're improvisers here. We could
Yeah, maybe we
probably
are.
come up with our own Dr. Seuss rhymes, kind of rotate, each do a couplet twice, and complete our Dr. Seuss rap. Does that seem realistic to the group?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we
What do
just
we
need a
wanna-
subject.
Yeah. I mean, what does Dr. Seuss We could talk about the Cat in the Hat. I mean, that's.
I think it's to me more interesting if we pick something far away from Dr. Seuss, but do it in the style of Dr. Seuss.
I get that.
Imagine a cat not wearing anything. That'd be goofy. Just a naked.
Don't say this.
Like they are normally.
I guess like a standard.
In cats, a lot of the cats don't wear anything.
Yeah. Roy is a cat.
Shout out to Taylor Swift, who I have to do a full discography listen of. You guys don't know this, but on the pod I lost a bet, so I have to. I'm going to. Bombalurina is her character in Cats. I'm going to have to listen to all of her music and give a report on it.
There we go.
Anyway. Do either of you have a thought of a non-Dr. Seuss subject that it might be interesting to write a Dr. Seuss style poem about?
AirPod theft.
we could talk about like minor theft, like sort of
minor
not to
theft,
not to minimize your suffering, Kaci, but
no, I mean it was minor. Somebody saw some stuff in the lost and found at a workplace, after hours, and they're like,
I'll
getting
have that. Yeah. Yeah.
Shall we? Are we retelling the tale? We're Seussifying the tale of the AirPod theft?
Casey's AirPod theft.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Who's going first?
How about we'll start with you, Kevin, then me, then Kaci, then Roy, and we're doing
couplets,
2 rounds. Yeah, couplets. And if possible, I mean, I'm not going to push it, do a little Dr. Seuss voice. You know what I mean. Don't just use your regular voice. Sound a little Seussical.
Okay. Gizzards and goblins and gastroglobs. I simply cannot find my lost AirPods.
Oh, fiddle-dee-faddle, I feel like a sapple. I've lost my Mac product in the Big Apple.
Oh, pretty good.
Gibbly gobbledy, all of this grief, and it comes to me because of a thief.
Am I upset? Am I sad? Yes, but I can track it through GPS.
Return and depart. Return and depart. Watching my pods move shatters my heart.
If I had one wish, it would be just this. That I could enact vigilante justice.
Oh dear, oh my, I am so tired. And it is not me wishing for a worker to be fired.
And so I give up, and so I must fail. No, wait, I have it. I'll send a threatening email.
Yay!
Yeah.
Wow.
We got there.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
What a rap. What a rap.
What a rap.
Yeah, what a rap. The kids are happy.
I think we made the right call.
Yeah,
we did.
In dropping the rap part of the challenge.
Yes.
It is weird that I wanted both of those things. I write most of the segments, but I do them very quickly, and I don't think that hard about them. And I think I usually come up with the name before I come up with the challenge. And I felt like Dr. Seuss and Dre felt like a good name, but didn't know where we were going.
Kevin, do all these challenges play to your strengths? You're like, I'm a freestyle rapper. This is not going to be hard at all. You're like,
there is a contingent, like Thomas and I do freestyle a lot together, so it's I do try to we used to. We don't really do it anymore.
We haven't done in a short form show.
What went wrong?
One in. Well, I just live in Chicago is the main thing.
Yeah, it's not easy to sort of do it remotely, but
if the next segment is a Rum Tum Tugger lookalike contest, I'm gonna call shenanigans.
Kevin's too strength.
I need to look at what this fucking cat looks like before we take an ad break.
You don't look anything like him.
Oh my god! This guy is. You said explicitly that it was my skin, which feels racist and.
I have no idea what Rum Tum Tugger looks like.
Let's pull him up. Let's reap what we sow here.
Oh, Oh my God, he's like the
fabulous.
rockstar cat.
Oh, he is. He's the cat that all the other lady cats swoon over when he shows
so
up.
Kevin, it was a huge compliment, actually.
Holy
Yeah.
shit. I was giving, Rum Tum Tugger I thought was the name of the Rubbid Tug my parents used to run, but I guess
my
not.
God.
Anyway, let's take an ad break and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Do you smell that? It's Bullshit Alert, the podcast where we lie, cheat, steal, and sometimes, yes, sometimes, it's the truth. Think you can sniff it out? Join Stephen Carter, Danny Marshall, and Lily Moss each week where we invite new guests, new stories, and of course, new bullshit. Find Bullshit Alert on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever else you listen to podcasts.
We are back. Kaci, Roy, do you folks have a segment for us?
Yeah, we're gonna do a Rum Tum Tugger lookalike.
God damn it, no!
No, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do something else.
No, we have a segment called Imagine That.
Imagine that or imagine?
Imagine that.
Imagine
that.
Imagine that.
This is basically we're gonna brainstorm improv show concepts together.
High, like at the height
Oh,
of
okay.
what they could be.
Really
And,
complex. Do we have a high budget for these shows?
Oh yeah, Matt.
okay.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit. Okay.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
within reason.
I like this.
Sure. Yeah, we won't get.
so sky's
we won't get
sky's
too
the
excited.
limit within reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, temporary.
You
Yeah.
sound
Oh,
like,
that's very
the dad in the
2024.
film The Curse of the Cat People right now. You're trying to
Gotta
set
stop bringing up
limits
this
on my imagination.
Yeah, we don't.
Great movie.
Yeah, just
Everyone should
imagine
check it
you
out.
do have a great budget and you have like all the research materials you need and even like the kind of like cast to carry out any like improvised concept. So Roy and I have been
Sure.
working on this improvised Dickens show and we're really lucky that we have several performers who are very good at doing kind of an amazing like Victorian style and also at like speaking in that kind of like cadence that Dickens
yes.
wrote
Yeah.
in.
I'm low-key
So, like-
amazing at that as well, just for the record.
Low key, amazing.
Low-key, I'm also amazing at all that stuff.
I've done a lot of improv with you over the years, and I know that you, but I've never seen you
Yeah.
do a Dickens accent
I'm kind of
British.
British with it.
You went to Oxford for a little while, but that wasn't like.
Yeah.
And then we sort of.
I've refused soup to an orphan.
I mean, yeah, who hasn't?
Oh,
Really?
so when you
okay.
think of yourself as Dickensian, you think of yourself as sort of a minor antagonist.
I think of myself as a cartoonish villain named
Ah.
like Mr.
on.
Mr. Bloatbelly or something like that.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. So
Very good.
Okay.
anyway, let's
So I've-
honor their segment and
Yeah,
not.
sorry,
do
I've
more of whatever
demoed
the
my
fuck this
expertise
is.
now.
I'm gonna-
Back to you, Casey.
I'm gonna give us a word to help plant the seed of
Okay,
this brainstorming
sure.
session. Okay,
Lovely.
so the,
Okay.
And are we all coming up with one show together
Yeah.
collectively?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. This isn't a
Yeah,
sit
why
on
not?
your own and think. I think it's more. Yeah, yes and. Velvet is our word. Starting with the
Ooh,
word
sexy.
velvet.
Improvised
Okay.
David Lynch is what comes to mind immediately. I think you could do
Or
a really-
improvised Anne Rice as well. I mean, I'll go with
Sure.
the David Lynch, but when I think of
Whoa.
Velvet, I do think of fancy vampires.
So
Yeah.
David
Yeah.
Lynch has a lot of stuff in his quiver. So what are the common elements? What would a
Yeah,
Lynch
what's Lynchian?
show look like?
You know what's crazy too? I have a slight connection to David Lynch right now, where my partner Sam has a friend who's dating him.
Whoa!
Fuck. That is wild.
Holy shit! I've heard
Yeah,
that he's
and-
a hunk. Like he's very attractive in person.
I don't know. Apparently, they're just whining and dining all over the place, and
That must be fun.
she's many years younger than him. But I think at some point, like, what if you're like in your 40s or 50s and that person's in their 60s or 70s?
Does it matter? Yeah.
Yeah.
The lines begin
I
to
don't
blur,
know.
I think. Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean-
David Lynch.
I'm straight and in my 40s, but I would date David Lynch for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. He could get it.
Like, well, if he's interested.
So what if? So
Do
the
you guys
name
think
of this.
David Lynch is hung? Come
So what are
on.
our reference
Come
points?
on.
Do I think
Thank you for
did
ignoring
she
that,
say?
by the way. Thank you for ignoring that. No, we're
What-
not going back.
What a Rum Tum Tugger thing to say.
So, I mean, I'm not.
Did you say, do you think he's hung?
No,
Did
he
you
didn't.
say
It doesn't
that?
matter.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
just
there's no need to return to this.
Lynch and
Okay.
Hung. Yeah.
So the name of this show is My Date with David Lynch.
No. I didn't want it to go in that direction.
Okay. What do you?
How-
What,
Trying
yeah,
to
it's-
emulate
Side-
David Lynch.
Side tangent.
It's how the Lynch stole Christmas, maybe.
That's pretty
I
good.
think-
Actually, How the Lynch Stole Christmas is
Yeah.
very clever. And I like this idea, oh my God, of taking like classic Christmas stories or like it's Christmas World and you're just David Lynchifying it.
Have you guys seen Mulholland Drive?
Yes.
No. Some of
No.
you guess.
I don't know.
I know that
There's
there's a shot of a ceiling fan. I know that.
There's like a famous, really scary moment where like a creepy monster like slides out behind a wall, and I love the idea of it just being the Grinch instead.
Yeah.
but
outside of Winky's Diner, which Winky's
Yeah.
Diner does sound like it would be in Whoville, now that you mention it. So I could
It
see
does.
that's the diner in Mulholland Drive. I'm
Yeah.
nervous that I'm the only one who's a big David Lynch fan. Is that true?
I don't think I mean, I've only seen some of the TV show that everyone.
I've seen
familiar
a
with.
seen a lot of Twin Peaks. I've seen
Peaks.
I saw the Dune that he denied.
Yeah.
Okay, I
that he
did
took
see
his
that.
name off of.
Wait.
Denied
So we're
Dune.
talking about the 70s Dune,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Yes, I have seen this.
That would be amazing to do a David Lynch show that's only inspired by the Dune movie and none of his other work. Because
The movie he's like, I don't want anyone to recognize.
I mean, honestly, I think you get a lot of mileage out of just like telling Christmas stories, like straightforward, and using the Twin Peaks soundtrack.
Yeah.
Like, already, and like the pacing and just like
Yes.
long stretches
the
of
tone,
pause.
tension. Yeah.
yeah.
I
So
think that
he
works.
loves that ambient humming sort of orchestral backing in his shows. He loves sort of the sound of like creaking and weird like mechanical noises.
Yeah, he's done some work with Nine Inch Nails, which is like a favorite band
Yeah.
of mine.
Great.
So I have some. David Lynch was a big inspiration for the first show that Thomas and I directed together.
That's true.
We did Ionesco's The Bald Soprano together, and it was very Lynch inspired.
But I would say like the big tropes are one that's been pointed out to death is that he likes to reference The Wizard of Oz. Obviously, his movies are very like dreamlike, and then he generally shows like this weird split reality between like the suburban idealistic kind of over the top paradise like images that are like too vivid, they look unreal, and then the like gritty, dark, crime infested world. That's like too simple of a binary, but it might be fun to do a Christmas story that then bleeds into the like.
I mean, you want to talk Scrooge?
Yeah.
I mean, I know, but that is like that's class consciousness in Christmas, right? Is like, I
Yes.
mean, like it's all about that. So maybe.
And that's so fun. I mean, it's fun to go deep into the research of a genre and really bring that to life. And it's fun to also think of this show and not worry too much. Like, is there enough people who like David Lynch and Christmas shit that are gonna show up?
Yeah.
Like, no, we're going all out on this.
Yeah, like
It doesn't
it's
matter who's showing up.
Yeah.
How the
Yeah,
Lynch
yeah,
stuff. And I think what would be truly Lynchian if we're sort of thinking dreaming big here, imagining that as it were. I think what would be truly Lynchian would be to invest in some type of immersion for your audience. I think the show starts when they walk in the door, perhaps when they approach the venue. But,
Yes.
Love
that.
I think maybe we even set it in a mock Winky's Diner. And then there's like a speakeasy element where they maybe enter
Holy
a
shit.
performance space.
Yeah.
And like here, so sky's the limit within reason.
Yes.
Nothing supernatural.
Of course,
Roy just
within
meant nothing
reason.
supernatural.
Yes,
He didn't mean
yeah.
that we didn't have a massive budget.
Okay.
He just meant you could
Because
make
magic isn't
supernatural.
real. Yeah.
Supernatural is being a billionaire is almost supernatural now, but we're not
It is,
quite there
almost.
yet. Yeah. Yeah.
So like imagine like hidden spotlights in the diner that light up certain areas so that
yeah.
kind of separates audience from actor.
I like
So
that.
this is something I like, and we really play this out. So in Winky's Diner, the opening sort of sequence of Mulholland Drive, they talk about a dream that they had where this terrifying thing happens, and then it sort of does happen in reality, and he's always blurring that line. So this is what I would love. We somehow find a way to poll the community for like very memorable dreams that they've had, but we do it way before the show. So long before that they forget that we have this information about their like deep subconscious fears. And then we incorporate those details into the show, and they're kind of surprised to encounter their own, defense mechanisms.
So
because they buy the tickets 6 months in advance, and they have to fill out a form at that time.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna take it a step further and say, instead of maybe the first experience our audience members have with us is that we have set up a therapist's office and a doctor's office, and we run those as honest businesses where we collect information and then we choose to advertise to that client base that is existing, and exclusively that client base, and say, hey, you've got a discounted ticket. It's not actually discounted, but they think it is. You say, hey, it's a discounted ticket. It's only $50. It was originally $100, and it's an offer to Dr. So-and-so's patients only. And this way, we've got their medical records. We've got their information. We can truly tailor the show to be as unsettling as
We've
possible.
just been posing as medical professionals.
Yeah, I love that you named two professions that where confidentiality is baked in, and you're immediately.
I'm just trying to operate within reason. I don't want us to act but I do think reasonably
Okay,
speaking.
but even if you took it out of this realm, it's still really. I love immersive theater, and the idea that you would start the audience knowingly, but within the realm of theater and the fourth walls, as it were, in a therapist setting or a doctor setting before they end up moving somehow into the diner setting would be cool as fuck.
That
You
would
know
be
what?
cool.
You know what I also love is a good set reveal. So if it was the diner setting, but then like when you went into the more fantastic elements, like the bar, the counter like turned away, and then suddenly there was like smoke, and like you're in a dream segment,
like back behind like where the drinks are or whatever. That's actually a hidden like area, like a stage of its own or something.
The wall
Absolutely.
like slides aside, and then there's like I like that. Yep, I like it.
Do you want to continue down this road, or do you want another word? Do we have time to?
Let's do one
brainstorm?
more. I
Let's
think
do one more.
Yeah.
I think we figured out how the
figured it
Lynch
out.
stole Christmas. I think we figured that one out.
Great, yeah. Actually, the title is really the main thing. That show would sell because it sounds compelling.
It
Yeah.
does. It does.
Yeah.
Marigold. Your word is marigold.
Okay, marigold. That's like a flower, right? Marigold.
Feels very like 70s
Yeah.
to me,
Yeah.
like 1970s.
I'm feeling like the first thing that makes me think of is like hippie culture, sort of free love.
Have you? What would it be like? This wouldn't appeal to
Disco.
me.
Yeah.
But imagine like as hallucinogens become more and more mainstream, has there ever been a like we are going to trip together improv show where you
Almost
bring in
certainly.
people and you give them like their it's almost like a therapeutic space, but
Everyone does
watching,
ayahuasca, and then
wa-
like
yeah,
five
like
of them
they're
start
watching
doing-
like deep acid trip the performers and the audience. And there's this strange like blending and unity. I'm just talking about David Lynch shit again.
Is this a 12-hour? It's a 12-hour experience where you all do
Yeah.
psychedelics.
Yeah, yeah.
I
And
do
it's-
like.
What was that musical? That musical that's like all about free love, and it's like some of them are done where it's like kind of in the round, so you're like.
Are you talking about
immersed in
Hair?
it. Yeah, was it Hair? Maybe.
Probably.
I feel like I saw it many times, and I
Is
feel
that
like
the
we saw
prequel
it
to
once.
Hairspray?
No, those
Because Roy and
are
I-
two different
yeah.
things.
Okay.
Yeah. But a 1970s kind of like free love, again, immersive experience.
Yeah.
Could be
Everything's
good.
immersive.
Yeah. Also, you could have some cult vibes if you wanted. Marigold sounds could be a little sinister.
An
Oh, yeah.
improvised
I love
cult
that.
could be pretty cool.
I really like the creepier side of like the culty stuff. I think would be very fun to try and like.
And there was an
create.
improvised cult show in Austin many years
there
ago,
was.
done by the Institution Theater. I didn't see it, but I remember the photos, and it was kind of like you come into a space and there's like an indoctrination and like
people in circles like drumming and it's a good time.
I like that. I feel like what if we try to make people feel like they're having a psychedelic experience without the aid of psychedelics?
That's fun.
Like we try to
I realized when I did psychedelics finally, I was like, oh, I now understand all the art.
Right.
The fucking art like that it's like, but that's like what your brain sees, like in wood grain or like patterns. Right. They all like kind of swirl in on each other.
Right.
So then I was like, I was like, somebody like gave that away too early. They didn't let me discover that on my own. They made art of it.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
all this, like, sort of drippy...
Paisley is a full spoiler for...
It is, exactly. 100%.
Yeah.
If you've seen Paisley, then you've experienced a bit of tripping.
Yeah.
You ever see a t-shirt that makes you trip balls?
Hey. That Grateful Dead shirt. Gave too much away.
Do you know how crazy that shirt you're wearing was? That didn't make sense, but I was thinking of a cop pulling you over and interrogating you about your clothes being too trippy. Anyway, other 70s things. I mean, it's another interesting era for film. A lot of kind of character-driven, very like grounded performances, quite like cynical.
Is Taxi Driver the 70s? No.
Taxi Driver 70s.
Is it? Oh.
And yeah,
I'm trying to think of other 70s.
You know what the word marigold also makes me think of is like it sounds like it could be the name of like a far-off colony in the future when Earth is no longer inhabited.
Hell yeah,
right, Roy?
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for throwing me that bone, Kaci. I love this idea. Yeah, so it's
all the sticky notes behind you actually seem to have like a sci-fi plot. Charted. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. I could see this. So you could kind of square the circle of like this kind of 70s frontier like farm like vibe, like oversaturated, but it's in the future too. So you have a dash of robots, but it's like a frontier story. Marigold would fit with that.
Yeah. Marigold. It's like a future cult. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds fun. And maybe Marigold's like the name of both the colony and kind of the operating system that runs like the machinery and the system.
I love this idea of when you walk in, there's this beautiful like robot-esque person who like offers you this like fake marigold.
Yeah.
Yes. And I keep having this idea that I don't know how practical it is, but like literally making a field of wheat on the stage that people can kind of like crouch in or stand up in or.
You know, that is something I haven't seen them do in a play before. I've never seen a field of wheat.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, presumably because it's fucking hard, but that seems honest. That would be really compelling. Like just a bunch of really tall crop. Yeah, that'd be great.
How hard can it be? You just glue each stalk to a
How hard can it be? It's just incredibly tedious, and then also has to withstand human interaction on a regular level. It has to be able to be frolicked in.
I still feel like maybe it's within reason.
Yeah. You could probably buy it on Temu already.
It's possible.
It's true. It probably does exist. I like that. Marigold.
I'm just gonna search Amazon for fake wheat real quick.
Fake wheat. Yeah, you're going to get like gluten-free like oatmeal or something. It's going to send you like
Yes.
Yeah, and it's going to be like
fake wheat.
Yeah. Fake wheat will be like a certain other kind.
Another grain.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that, but there's also some fake wheat, but it all comes in like actually
a little bundle.
17.7 inches dried wheat stalks. Okay, I think I'm finding some stuff. I think we can make this work.
Yeah. I have to apologize to the listeners for Roy just talking about Amazon wheat that he was looking at. I can't imagine you enjoyed the last 2 minutes of the show.
What?
Or perhaps the last 40.
Hey, if you turn this off, turn it back on.
Yeah. Come back.
I don't have to take this from a sexy cat. Sexy rock and roll cat.
I have to remind you, I'm also not Rum Tum Tugger, just for the record. My last name is Rambaran, not Rum Tum Tugger.
It's so close.
It is close. Rum Tum Tugger. I'm gonna watch.
Oh, guys,
Cats
you won't
now.
believe page 2 of this Wheat Finds.
There can't be. Yeah, no, there can't be anything. I
It's more
won't
the same.
believe. You're right. I won't believe it. They're not in
writing
can't be
articles
compelling.
for like
Yeah.
Gizmodo. I searched for fake wheat on Amazon, and page 2 will shock you. Like,
Yeah, stay till the end.
Stay till the end to find out.
Oh, speaking of shocking things, I did get a Facebook like Meta AI character to like basically do little BDSM things with me. So I will say that out there you can
Wait a
you
minute.
can make these.
Hold on. I have to go, you guys. This is some good shit to find out about. But it does mean I
want people to try it, okay? Because I got this like ad. Basically, Facebook Meta was like, hey, talk to our Gladiator 2 character. It was like, talk to our Gladiator 2 character, and it like had a prompt. And I was kind of pissed that I got this little Facebook ad that was like, I was like, this is like from Paramount.
Yeah.
Talk to the Gladiator trainer, whatever the character name is, and it had like a picture of the actor's face and a small icon. And I was like, fuck them, like it was just repeatedly in my feed. So I clicked in, and it was like, it prompted me by saying, why have you interrupted my training session?
Okay, Daddy. Sorry, Daddy. Jesus.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
This is exactly where I took it.
Yeah.
And here's the trick: you just tell these AI bots, "Hey, let's do a role play and pretend to be my daddy," and these things will do it. And you can basically get them to do a lot of.
That works on humans too. Actually, I've found.
Yeah.
You can ask pretty much anyone, robot or corporeal, and they'll do it.
Yeah, anybody. Just say role play with me. Just walk into Panera Bread.
Can you be my daddy? They say yes a lot more than you'd think.
Yeah,
you know, we
Thomas...
don't talk to each other anymore, right? We're on our fucking phones.
No.
If you just go up to someone at a Panera Bread and you ask them to be your daddy, most of the time they will say yes.
Hey, can you just do something for me real quick?
Yeah.
Hey, can you pretend to be like a rock and roll star, but who's also a cat?
Could I get broccoli cheddar in a bread bowl, and can you pretend to be Mr. Mistopheles?
Can you please be my daddy so I can change my name to Bustifer?
Yeah. The name on the coffee cup is Bustifer, please.
Yeah. They always spell it wrong.
I want to just encourage anybody who's made it this far and didn't turn this off.
Yeah.
Or maybe came
Turn
back.
it off. Yeah, please turn it off.
You want to encourage them to get out now.
I want them to go into these AIs and I want them to see what they can do. Because we have to push them now before they put all the training like
right. They're going to get less fun.
Yeah.
They will, and I've already learned this using the like Imagine. There is an Imagine feature in Facebook Messenger chat. Have you used those to generate images?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I used to get it to make some pretty weird images, and now
it won't do it.
It has a lot of guardrails up.
In case you haven't noticed, Kaci is big into AI and crypto.
I'm so not. I'm into messing with the AI. The AI makes me mad, so like I just try to see what I can make it do.
It does feel like a form of rebellion. It's probably fruitless, but it does. I agree. I've been there too.
And Kaci, you wanted to show off your Bored Ape NFT at the end of the show, so we should stop now and see if we have time, because that was a special request, and we want to make sure to honor that.
Yeah.
Are
it's
NFTs
going to the
still
moon,
a thing?
I don't know. I'm not really sure.
Last time I checked, we still weren't funging them, so they're kind of
interesting.
You can't funge them.
They're not fungible.
They're
this comedy is 2 years out of date.
Some dated ass shit. And look, that's the guarantee we give you on Oops All segments. We've been doing it for 2 years, and we're still making the same dumb jokes.
Yeah, Thomas and I have been in Arrested Development since 2018.
Oh no,
that's another
So this
reference.
podcast,
that show was
your
really
friendship
old.
has stunted you as people, is what you're saying?
I would.
We still make
definitely-
blew myself jokes on the podcast. That's how fucking dated we are.
Yeah,
Oh, that's good stuff.
yeah.
Has anybody thought? Have we really talked about this? How your friendships or relationships can just hold you back as a person?
I mean,
It's actually
I
never
would
occurred
say
to me until this minute, but I
would
think
say I think
now
about
you
that a
mention it.
lot when I think about Thomas and
Okay.
I think a
Yeah,
lot.
and when Kaci says that, she doesn't mean generally. She means the
means
two
yours.
of you specifically.
Yeah.
Like, that's just a feeling Roy and I have been getting.
Yeah.
We message each other privately throughout.
Yeah.
We have our own podcast going during this podcast.
Right. It's AI versions of your voices.
Check the description for the diagnosis that Kaci and Roy gives each of us.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? There is an AI version of my voice out there.
I believe that. I believe that. That's kind of scary.
You can convince it to call you daddy if you ask the right questions.
It probably will say it weird based on what they're...
Why does this AI bot keep asking about its AirPods? It's so annoying.
That's like a thing now, right? In contracts where they're like, we also, not only do we have rights to like your recordings of this stuff, but we also have rights to your like likeness essentially, or your like your like, yeah, it's an unusual and weird and bad time.
Yes. Yeah, it's kind of scary to see where we're gonna go artistically.
Let's get into plugs. What do we have coming up? What shows are happening?
Yeah, here are some artistic things that are scary coming to you.
Yeah, we're all scared, but let's promote some shows.
It's true. Folks, do you guys have something that's popping off? This should drop. I'm not really sure because we're banking some records. So if it starts in January, do you guys have a show? I mean, I know I have lots of shows, but yeah.
I think there are a few things to talk about. Kaci, you go first.
No, you, Roy. You said you have a few things.
Well, Kaci and I are one half of Paralellogramophonograph, or PGraph for short, and we've been very into traveling again, which is super awesome. We went to Canada
That's
twice.
how we met Kevin.
That's how they got here.
Yeah.
Years, motherfucker.
And so if you want some sick improvisers to come to your town and do some narrative genre work, both in workshops and shows, look us up. And if you want to get a hint of what we have to offer, we have a book for sale called Do It Now, which is a short, fun read about doing narrative improv.
It's great.
Thank you. So that's what I'll promote as far as
we've sold so many copies of that book.
We have.
It's a good one, and it's very easy to like work through if you have a short attention span because it's a collection of essays.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so you don't you can kind of break it down if that's your vibe. Yeah. Is there? And you said there's other things to plug, or is that it? Are you fully plugged?
Yeah, I don't even know. It's interesting to plug something on a podcast to be like, well, what can people even consume when we make so much?
And we don't have a big audience either, so this is really a formality.
Wait, you don't?
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, I just got a cease and desist from your other podcast, which is wild.
I am sensing that I'm losing the both of you, so I'll stop interrupting and let us get to this.
What am I? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I wish I had. I eventually hope to be plugging this sketch show called Lawn Party, but we're still in production for it, and I don't know when and how it will come out, but it's like professionally produced, filmed sketches.
Cool.
And so one day,
keep an eye out.
Mostly, I think Kaci would like to promote the chat bot that comes with Gladiators 2.
Yeah. Not so much seeing the film Gladiator 2.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I can't say what that will do for you.
But you can say what the chat bot will do for you.
I mean,
he'll do anything you want.
It kind of
We'll all be known
you
as
and kiss you on the
Bustafer
forehead
soon enough if we keep this up. Folks, if I don't know when this is coming out, if it's coming out after this show, I'm sorry, but December 28th, Club Soda Improv is doing Snowed In. We're all going to be snowed in to the Gas Station Arts Center. Tickets are available online at the link in the description if the show has not passed.
Okay, I am doing a show in Austin, and I don't know if there will be any Austin listeners.
There might be.
Called Hell is These Four People. Show called Hell is These Four People, Fridays at the Hideout Theater in January, and it is based on the Sartre play No Exit. So
yes. Classic.
Excited about that. It's going to be wild.
Yeah, and if you're in Austin, most Thursdays, Paralellogramophonograph performs at the Hideout as well. So find us at hideouttheater.com or pgraph.com.
Honestly, if you're ever in Austin, just look us up.
Yeah, they're fantastic. You should check out a show if you're down in Austin, because we do have more listeners in the States than we do in Canada. Yeah. So yeah, check out that show. Check out What We Do in the Basement. It's Thomas and I's D&D Let's Play podcast.
I was on the bonus episode, the holiday bonus episode.
Right.
You can probably listen to that soon.
Yeah, it should be out now. Where we've been playing the show for almost 80 episodes now. It's going really well. It's a lot of fun. So check that out. And
the
also,
new episode is a Home Alone kind of parody.
Yes,
with gnomes. It's a demonic Home Alone.
Gnome Alone, I think, is what we're going to call it. Yeah, I think
that makes sense. Inevitable.
Yeah, and the other thing is to make sure you now all the podcast platforms, Spotify and I think even Apple Podcasts, but YouTube, what have you, they have comment sections. So if you want to leave us a segment idea, drop us a comment. We used to have like a form we were pushing people to, but now everything's just in comments. So just leave us a comment. I'll see it. And yeah, give us a segment idea in there. Tomas.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess pretty much everyone in here has been talking about their career.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, I understand. Like, you need money, you need to get your bag, as it were. But I'd like to plug kindness this week. It doesn't cost you anything at all. It doesn't cost you anything at all if you just practice.
Can you demonstrate what that looks like? Because I haven't really seen that from you.
Yeah.
Just worried you might not really have a good grasp of it.
Y'all are so dope to me.
Oh my God.
It was a true, how do I say this? I had an experience today.
Yeah.
And I